Okay, so today we are continuing our computer coding for kids book, and we are starting from scratch. What is Scratch? Scratch is a visual programming language that makes coding simple. It can be used to make all sorts of fun and interesting programs. Understanding Scratch. Scratch is perfect for making games and animations. It has large collections or libraries of cool graphics and sounds that you can play with. Start programming. Scratch is a programming language. There's not much typing, and it's easy to get started. Write your first program in Scratch. Put together programming blocks. Scratch uses colored blocks of code. Blocks are selected and joined together to make a script, which is a set of instructions. Blocks lock together like jigsaw pieces, make sprites move and speak. Objects, such as people, vehicles, and animals, can be added to a program. These objects are called sprites. Scripts make them move and speak. Sprites can be programmed to walk, run, and dance. Sprites like me can be programmed to talk in speech bubbles. We're going to learn some new lingo. Why is it called Scratch? Scratching is a way of mixing different sounds to make new music. The Scratch programming language enables you to mix pictures, sounds, and scripts to make new computer programs. A typical Scratch program. Here is an example of a Scratch program. All of the action takes place in an area on the screen called the stage. Background images and sprites can be added to the stage, and you can write scripts to make things happen. The red button stops a program. The green flag runs a program. When you run a program, starting a program is called running it. To run a program in Scratch, click the green flag above the stage. In the stage, we have background image. Adding a script makes the shark sprite move. Several sprites can be on the stage at once. Scripts make sprites move. Scratch contains blocks that can be used to make scripts. This script makes the shark bounce around the screen. The next costume block makes it open and close its mouth with each movement. The forever block keeps the sprite moving endlessly. Remember, Scratch programs. In Scratch, when you save your work, it is called a project. A project includes all the sprites, backgrounds, sounds, and scripts you're working with. When you load a project again later, everything will be where it was when you saved it. A Scratch project is a computer program. Installing and launching Scratch. To start programming in Scratch, you need to have the Scratch software. It can be installed on a computer or it can be used online. Remember the Scratch website. Find the Scratch website at http://scratch.mit.edu/. Create a Scratch account. A Scratch account can be used to share the programs you make on the Scratch website. It's also used to save work online. Visit the Scratch website at scratch.mit.edu and click Join Scratch to create your account. Getting started. The way Scratch is set up depends on whether it's used over the internet online or from downloaded software offline. So, if we set up online, you visit scratch.mit.edu and click Join Scratch, fill in the form, and create a username and password. Make sure you get permission from your parents or carer to join the website. To set it up offline, download the software version of Scratch at scratch.mit.edu/scratch to download. Run the installation program and a Scratch icon will appear on your desktop. Launching Scratch. If you do it online, once you've joined the Scratch website, click Sign In and enter your username and password. Click Create at the top of the screen to begin a new program. If you're doing it offline, double-click the icon on the desktop and Scratch will start. Ready to begin programming. Expert tips: mouse control. The click instruction means press the left mouse button if there is more than one. Right click means use the right mouse button. If a mouse only has one button, hold the control key on the keyboard and press the mouse button to perform a right click. Different versions of Scratch. This book uses Scratch 2.0, the latest version of Scratch at the time. This version if possible. An older version will differ slightly. The Scratch 1.4, the older version, has the stage on the right of the screen. Scratch 2.0, the latest version of Scratch, has some new commands and the stage is on the left of the screen. Saving work. If you're online when you're logged in, Scratch automatically saves work for you. To find your work, click your username at the top right of the screen and click My Stuff. If you're doing it offline, you click the File menu at the top of the screen and choose Save As. Ask the person who owns the computer where you should save your work. Operating systems. If you're doing it online, the web version of Scratch works well on Windows, Ubuntu, and Mac computers. It needs Adobe Flash software though, so it won't work well on some tablets. The offline version of Scratch works well on Windows and Mac computers. It doesn't work well on computers that use Ubuntu. If a computer uses Ubuntu, try the online version instead. Ready? Let's go! Scratch interface. This is Scratch's screen layout, or interface. The stage is on the left and programs are created on the right. Experiment. Click the buttons and tabs to explore and experiment with the Scratch interface. The projects that follow explain how to use them. Expert tips. Menu and tools. Menu options. This is what the menu options at the top of the screen do. File, save work or start a new project. Edit, undo any mistakes or change the stage size. Tips. If you get stuck, find help here. Cursor tools. Click on the tool you want to use and then click on the sprite or script that you want to use it on. Copy a sprite or script. Delete a sprite or script. Enlarge a sprite. Shrink a sprite. Get help on a block. Click here for full screen view. Change language. Menu options. Cursor tools. Program name box. Click a sprite on the stage or in the sprites list to select it. Buttons to change the background. Blue box around the selected sprite. Buttons to add new sprites. Scratch map. The stage is where programs run. Sprites are managed in the sprite list, and script blocks can be found in the blocks palette. Build scripts in the scripts area. We have the Scripts tab, Costumes tab, Sounds tab. Current sprite selected. Position of the current sprite on stage. Select different types of blocks. Blocks snap together. Use the mouse to move them around. These scripts control the owl sprite. Drag blocks from here into the scripts area to make scripts. Build scripts here. Store scripts, sprites, sounds, and costumes in the backpack. Zoom in on sprites. On scripts. Sprites. They are the basic components of Scratch. Every Scratch program is made up of sprites and the scripts that control them. The Escape the Dragon program uses the cat, dragon, and donut sprites. What can sprites do? Sprites are the images on the stage. Scripts are programmed to make them do things. Sprites can be instructed to react to other scripts and the user of the program. Here are a few things sprites can do. We can make lots of different sounds. Move around the stage. Change their appearance. Play sounds and music. react when they touch things, be controlled by the user, talk in speech bubbles, sprites in Scratch interface. Each project can have several sprites, and each one can have its own scripts. It's important to add scripts to the correct sprite and to know how to switch between them. The script being shown belongs to the sprite shown here. Select different sprites by clicking on them. Sprites and scripts. A project can have lots of sprites, and each sprite can have lots of scripts. Creating and editing sprites. Games are more exciting when there are more sprites to hit, dodge, or chase each other around the stage. It's simple to create, copy, and delete sprites. Create a sprite. Use the buttons above the sprite list to add or create a sprite for your program. Choose from the library. Create a new sprite. Select a picture from your computer. Use your webcam. Copy or delete a sprite. To copy a sprite and its scripts, right-click on it and in the sprite list and choose Duplicate. This option copies the sprite. This option deletes a sprite. Naming a sprite. When you start a new program in Scratch, the cat sprite is called Sprite 1. It's easier to write programs if you give your sprites more meaningful names. It's also it also makes it easier to understand and manage scripts. Select the sprite, select the sprite in the sprite list, and then click on the blue eye button in the corner. This is the blue eye button. Change the name. When the information panel opens, click on the text box and use the keyboard to change the name of the sprite. Type the sprite's new name here. Rename the sprite. Click the blue arrow on the left of the sprite to close the information panel. The sprite's new name appears in the sprite list. Colored blocks and scripts. Blocks are color-coded depending on what they do. Putting them together builds scripts that run in the order in which they are placed. Colored blocks. There are 10 different types of blocks in Scratch. Switch between them using the buttons in the blocks palette. Click on a color to see all the blocks in that section. Scripts: motion, looks, sound, pen, data, events, control, sensing, operators, more blocks. Button to show the orange data blocks. Function of blocks. Different types of blocks do different things in programs. Some of them make sprites move, some manage sounds, and some decide when things happen. Events and sensing. Brown events blocks make things happen. Light blue sensing blocks detect information about the keyboard, mouse, and what a sprite is touching. Detects when the green flag is clicked. Checks whether the space bar is pressed. Motion, looks, sound, and pen. These blocks control what a sprite does on a screen. This is called the output of a program. Pick a sprite and try each block to see what it does. This block rotates the sprite. This block shows a thought bubble. This block plays a sound recording. This block draws a line and as a sprite moves. Data and operators. Orange data blocks and green operator blocks store numbers and words and do things with them. Stores a number in a variable, chooses a random number. Control. The control blocks make decision about when blocks run. They can be programmed to repeat instructions. This makes the blocks inside it run on loop forever. Flow of scripts. When a program runs, Scratch carries out the instructions on the blocks. It starts at the top of the scripts and works its way down. The thoughtful cat. When this script is used with the cat sprite, the cat will wait 2 seconds, think for a moment, pause 1 second, and then move. Programs run from top to bottom. This instruction is run last. Running scripts. When a script is running, it glows. Use the green flag button on the stage to run a script or click a script or a block to make it run. The glowing outline means this script is running. Testing scripts. Test whether a script is working properly by clicking on it. Remember, stopping scripts. To stop all scripts in a program that are running, click the red Stop button above the stage. It's shaped like a hexagon. You'll find it beside the green flag button used to start your program.